Okay. Coisas abertas.
And now we'll be having Silva and Ricardo both from Microsoft.
Yep.
And they will be talking about their experience from 6 years
doing
Agile project with fixed fee.
Sorry?
Fixed fee projects?
Yeah, fixed fee projects, yeah.
Okay, and delivering
And
right on time.
right on time and on quality.
Exactly what the customers want.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. So, thank you very much for your time, guys. Try to get on, stay on time. So, moving on. And that one isn't working. Okay, no worries. So, just a quick wrap up. So, me and Ricardo, we are from MCS, so that's Microsoft Consulting Services. So, we work in clients, delivering them custom solutions that they hire us to do. So, mainly and mostly here in Portugal, this is fixed fee projects. So, although time and materials projects sometimes occur, it's not very normal. But another quick disclaimer. Everything that we were going to talk about is behind various NDAs, so we're not going to talk about product names, neither we are talking about clients, customer names, okay? So apologies on that, but still, that's the rules of the game. Well, so we are the main players, the soldiers for these trench sales, okay? So this me and Ricardo, sometimes both of us playing side by side, back to back, and sometimes on our own projects. So Tail one. Tail one is all about recruiting the troops. So this is getting them, so this is the part where I say, I want you, and really selecting those really fine talents and fine-tuning the team. So I don't know if you ever did interview process or something like that, but still, you have to find some balance between getting the skills that you need to produce the code and the requirements, and getting the soft skills in, okay? So skills, we did some charts and everything, and we got those various candidates in and tried to compare them to each other. But to be honest, we based a lot of our recruiting on this book. I don't know if anyone knows it. No? It's a very interesting book. It now has its second edition that they renamed it, probably because True Color was a trademark, and now they trademarked the Inner Hero one, but it's the same thing, just rewrote all the names of the colors to heroes. But still, what it does is classifies you into 4 axes, and it has an evaluation, and every axis has a value and a representation and a meaning, and then you can compare what's the behavior of that person. So this is all about soft skills, you know.
The main values of the team member.
Yeah, exactly. So if yeah, sure.
You always want to try for a sweet spot team. So having several of these profiles is good.
Yeah, exactly. So an all-around team, you know. So these were the basis, so skills and soft skills, so hard skills and soft skills. And then we started, well, let's look at basic skill sets. We don't want hardcore developers, because the hard skills aren't that important. That's what we figured out. More important than hard skills, is commitment. Commitment is key. Commitment is really, really important. You have a committed team, even if they don't know how to do it, they're committed enough to learn. And this is a very important thing. Another thing that we found is involvement. So if you figure that you have people that really want to get involved, they want to drive change. If they want to drive change, they'll move the project forward, even if it's just halted on a breakpoint somewhere. So it's very, very good. Proactiveness is hugely important, because if you're doing agile projects really, and you want a quick cycle, you need people that really will get on that problem, that issue, that spike that's not working, and you have a problem in production. You don't want to tell anyone. If for instance, the team is working now and I'm here, and I'm really comfortable. Otherwise, it's going to be gigantically, because we went to production just last week. And I'm here and I'm okay. I'm comfortable with it. People will proactively solve the problem if needed. And most of all, well, this is I know it's like a known word. Everybody says think outside the box, but really thinking outside the box will make a difference in your project. It will make change, and you will see it, because you'll notice that. So basically, the core when we are recruiting someone is technical skills are important, but culture is core and commitment is vital. If you don't have a committed team, then you're going to fail. So another tale that I'm going to talk, and if you want to interrupt, just please do. This is all about you guys and sharing these experiences, but I imagine that you guys have similar experience and probably will contradict some. Me and Ricardo have difference of opinion in some things, and well, we're both here, so you can pitch in at any time. So divided but united is a tale that we want to tell you about. Working with teams that are, your team is splitted geographically. And this is a more personal tale of mine. I did this, and we have a team in Lisbon and a team in Porto, and I was a little bit afraid of this one, and it worked really well. And it was a great lesson for me. So basically, these were my fears. When I started looking at this, and these were my fears. Synchronization, the speed, everything. These were my fears. And I started thinking about how to work around this. So we had conference calls every day. So we were in tune every day, doing the daily meetings. We had synchronized sprints across teams. So everybody had to deliver on the same day. It's not like, okay, you guys from the services need to go ahead a little bit, and oh, we got a little bit delayed, no worries, you guys are on time. No. Everybody has to be synchronized. Most of all, you had, this one is a very interesting one. I got a spy on every team. So there was a guy working on the same team that the guys from Oporto. He was in Lisbon, so I could see his fear. Every time something was wrong, I had like a visual representation of that fear on him, and like, okay, let's talk with the guys upstairs. Let's get a conference call with them. So something's wrong, right? Because otherwise, you don't see that issue unless someone reports it, and it can take some time. If you see it, you have a spy there, you will get the information in. And the other way around, they had one spy on. I got one spy from them on my team. So a very good one. So another thing is cross-pollination. So normally, this is something that I'm still going to need to test a little bit more, but what I did was the scope of every team was different, but people were working on different scopes sometimes. So this sprint, someone would change scope and do some services so that they could take the pains that they had consuming the services when they are building it. And do some cross-pollination of that team with, oh, please don't do this anymore because it was really bad and it took me a really long time to get this. Let's refactor this. And normally these are the guys that started the refactor and started the movement inside the other team and do that across teams. This is something that me and Ricardo started out and really agreed upon. So this is a common guideline for everybody. So if you have any kind of principles in the team installed, they have to be the same cross team. The guys from Oporto couldn't do difference from Lisbon because it wouldn't match. Cross-pollination would kill this, but still, we had this as a rule. Finally, feedback loops. Feedback loops is it's really core because you're away. You need to install something inside the process that would give you that chance to get the feedback from the guys that were away. As well as you have to do it in-house, right? The guys that work with you still need this to get some feedback in so that you can change the process, right? So this is valid across geographical locations. It's not a geographical issue, but you have to do it. You have to do it. Even if it's tough, you have to do it. Still, at the end, always celebrate your achievements. These are the guys, different parties that we did when every time we do the sprints, and they did it in Oporto, we did it in Lisbon. Sometimes we try to get together, but even if you can't, they do the parties anyway. So you need to celebrate your achievements as a whole team. And normally we call each other like, yeah, we did it, because it's a shared achievement. Everybody needs to celebrate it, and everybody needs to celebrate it at the same time. Okay. So tale 3. Tale 3 is about defining the rules of the game. So this is very important. It's a little bit like what we were talking about in having established principles across teams, but this is valid even if it's not a geographical dispersed team. So team principles is something that we installed in our teams. This is like a document. Normally, I don't know how Vishy's one is doing it. Your project probably is like what, 7?
That's a lab document and management managed by the team. So
Yeah.
if the team see a rule that not makes no sense anymore, it's moved.
Yeah, but it's you lost connection there, Ricardo. Okay, so yeah, we built our own documents inside our teams. Ricardo has one in his teams. I have one in my teams. It's the same principle. So it defines not only code principles but governance for the team, communication, and stuff like that. Okay, so things like if you're doing a stand-up meeting, then that's a principle, that's a rule. It has a set time, and so this is a governance thing, and it's on the team principles. Everybody needs to be there at that time. If you have things like a definition of done, and this for me is a very important one. So this is for everybody. Like I really get annoyed when people say like, oh yeah, it's done, but it's still not tested. Well, fully tested then. Okay, so it's not done. Oh, it's done, but it's not deployed yet. You need to write still the deployment script. That's not done. Okay, so everybody that says in my teams and in Ricardo's team, like, yeah, it's done, then that means tested, accepted by the product owner, either by the definition of the requirement itself or by showing him the requirement and he said, yeah, that's okay. And styled. It's not like, yeah, but you still need to get the designer to look at it because he didn't do it and it's not done. Documented and shippable. So this is done. And everybody accepts this. This is an accepted criteria for everyone. If the team changes this definition, then it changes for everybody. And it's done. So no more done but. It's done, either done or not. Another very cool rule that we have and we love is the see it only once rule. This is like, it's a costly rule. Sometimes it's a pain in the neck, but it's like, okay, I'm working on the code, and I'm going to say in code, but it could be in a document or something like that. I'm looking at code and say, okay, look, this is against the principle, or this is not as it should be. I found it. Either I change it now, or I document a change, get the task in, but I'll only see it once. Everybody that sees something that shouldn't be there has to apply by this principle and start changing it now or tag it to change and then get prioritized. If it's a big refactor, you're not going to end up like breaking everything on the last day, but you have to tag it either by comment or by a task. So this is a very, very powerful rule that I always found very much value in it. Communication is very important to be defined as a rule of the game, not to get waste communication principles are very important for you to not waste time talking with different stakeholders and having cross talk and then wasting and even getting yourself hurt by saying yes to something in one stakeholder saying no by someone else. So these rules will save the team. It's not so much as not getting waste or getting productivity in, but mostly by saving, because you will need to save the team. So no waste is something that we enforce. No waste means every principle that's here, if it starts to represent waste or in the team principles, something begins to be seen as inside the team as something wasteful, then you shouldn't be doing it. So we'll scratch it out. Because like Ricardo said, team principles are a document or it's a guideline from the team to the team. The team can change it any time as long as it's an agreement. If it's wasteful, normally we are all in agreement we shouldn't do it, so we stop doing it. And finally, have fun. This is something that I try to enforce every time because you're working back to back in those trenches, right? Making the impossible possible, and you need to have fun. Otherwise, it's not worth it. If you stop having fun, you should stop doing it as well. Okay. So, tale 4, Ricardo, take the stage.
My turn.
Go for it.
So, couple of hands. Who here usually delivers projects on customer sites? Okay.
Okay. Well, in-house products here.
Yeah, that's good. So, for those who do, which of you usually specify team room times on the statement of work for the customer? And okay, just me. I'm alone.
No, you're not. I'm with you.
So that team rooms in customer sites is still painful to get, but it's essential if you want to deliver the project
on time and on quality.
Especially in fixed fee projects. Team rooms should be a zen zone for the team to maximize its productivity. So, for in our case, we struggled. In one of the cases, it was the department director that is guiding it for us. So
Yeah, it was a very fun thing because we had that in the proposal, and it was like, okay, we were seen as the fish in the pond. Well, like we had like a window and everything. It was very nice, but it were very tough to win ever.
It was not functional.
Yeah.
So after we get our room, one of the things we always want is a whiteboard, so we can do some brainstorm, discuss ideas, you name it. Team members are always free to use it. Another thing we imposed was phones in silent mode. If we have to talk, you have to leave the room. That's a rule.
Zen is Zen, right?
Zen is Zen, and you have to be totally focused. Next.
Yep.
Another mandatory, no dummy conversations permitted.
Yeah, the soccer game was very good.
After let's say 2 months of this rule, the team proposed a new rule that was, can I get 1 minute to off stage? Yes. So
yeah, we changed the rule. Yeah.
Team members, I want to say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you get frustrated with that little piece of code that you're looking at for like 2 days, and like, yeah, I just want. Yeah, sure.
It was good for them.
Okay.
Last but not the least, this was also happened later. The team started to sponsor a basket of fruit to keep the sugar levels up.
Yeah, so.
And minimize the leave in the room and interrupting what we were doing. It was the result of one of the rules we got.
Yeah. A lot of work was done here.
You see the fruits, man?
Yeah. Okay.
Next level, self-improving team. This is kind of policy we posed for ourselves. We didn't have anyone specifically to police the team. It was everyone was policing the other members to comply with the principal rules we had agreed by the team. And we had a proxy agent, which was in the name, any single moment, anyone break a rule,
Have the money peak.
There was a fine of 50 cents, and that was the cop that received it.
Yeah. The money peak was there
So
to enforce the rules.
Oftentimes you left the room, and when you came to your computer, you had the key in your computer.
On top of your laptop.
You broke the bill. Or
Yeah, you broke the bill.
that, so you pay. And this was a kind of a game.
Yeah.
Was to regulate the team. It's not to punish the error. It was not the purpose. And that cases, what happened that we didn't know if it was a fine or not. So the team thought, yes, this is a breaking rule, or it's not a breaking rule.
Yeah.
Even the customer in the room.
Yeah. Paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside that rules were enforced, and the pig was there every time.
We share with them the rules. Another rule, the door. You had the switch light, and nothing enter. In the sun stopped with us.
Everybody stopped, right?
The light, so
He paid. So
sometimes that then it reverted to when spirits of the labor to team to go out and get some beers. And
yeah, the idea was to transform your pains and your mistakes into something fun. At the end, everybody would go out, get some beers, eat some food, and beer.
Lots of members, you paid lots of beer to the team.
yeah, you do. Okay, so almost the last tale, yeah?
Yeah. So this has to do with after some moment we had some production code.
Yep.
And after we delivered, we had more space to deliver next features, and we assigned one rotating member with a black sheep.
Yeah, we like to name things.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the pigs was called Gub, because it's bug like reverse, but still, we like to name things.
The black sheep was responsible to cater for all bugs analysis and the bugs that they were following from the test of the customer.
Yeah.
This was very good, fundamental to chill the team from all this noise. Because they all come from him. You filter what was bad, what was bad. And
no one likes to be fixing bugs in production. It's awful. Awful. It's a way to shield everything.
Keeping making new stuff, and maybe there was a creeping because they had to be solved.
Yeah.
And Black Sheep, as you know, do not have any
commitment.
Any commitment to the sprint.
Yeah. So last tale. Just it's a really quick one. It's basically quality for us is never negotiable, and for our products we strive by quality. So this has to be something that we focused on. So to solve this, first of all, the formula isn't that tough, and we probably will see yourselves in some of these aspects, I hope, because this is, I think, basis for every software quality process. So testing and more testing is very important. Continuous integration and deployment is, I think, is like air to breathe if you really want to test your software. This is my personal opinion, but I can get a lot of documentation that will support me. So it's really good, and if you're not doing it, you should be at least trying to do. And if you're having any doubts, email us. We'll try to help you guys, because this is very key to get that quality in. Another important thing, this is not a waste of time, as many project managers already told me and stuff like that. It's pair programming. It's not waste. It's a way of sharing code, sharing knowledge, and at the same time doing some revision. As I said, code revision. Code reviewing is very important. You don't need to look at every line of code that's done. We are both tech leads in our project, and I haven't seen, I would say like 40% of the code would be huge if I had the time to do that. So no, it's not happening.
But it's wise if you tag which parts of code you want to review.
Yeah. Yes. Critical pieces of software should be always reviewed, for sure. Another thing is code analysis. So you have a money pig inside the room. You need to have like an automated money gathering support for your pig. Breaking code analysis also pays some coins. So this is a very good way of keeping people on their feet, quality up, and at the same time being something that's fun. Not that code analysis is fun, but still. But mostly, and this is going back to the first slide, if you selected your team, you need to trust your team. So quality, just going back to the first tale, really select well your team, and then you have the quality that you want, right? And you need to trust them. Don't police the team. They won't need it, okay? So basically, this is it. We had some more tales, some more things about if you wanted to use for your project backlog. We already saw a lot of backlog, so let's skip it. A lot about creating your own tasks and post-its on the wall, and you could. Well, we did it. For myself, I did it on TFS Online. Ricardo prefers the physical aspect of it. So yeah, we have different opinions. So if you want question us about the different opinions, please do. And finally, like I said, gated commits is a very good way to get some coins in the Gub. Gub loves those broken builds, and this is a way of at the same time maintaining quality. You know. Finally, the continuous integration, like I said, creates and improves the quality of your product. I do believe this. So battle debrief. Slow, adopting anything that's, and these are some final notes for us. Adopting anything that's different. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So if you try to run, you'll fall a lot of times, you get hurt. Maybe you'll get to the end, but you'll get you got hurt a lot more times and you don't need it. Team is core, and the process are just the tools for you to achieve your goal. Team is core, and experiment a lot. We did a lot of experiments for the last 6 years, and yeah. So it's possible. It's possible to do fixed fee. It's possible to do Agile on fixed fee, and it's possible to do this and have fun. This is the most important. So thank you very much for all of you for your time. Hope you enjoyed the talk. Please, questions, anyone, if you want. We're here. Yes?
We're a bit short on time. We'll have one question.
Oh, okay.
So who pays more?
Auction mode.
You lost.
in the beginning, you talked about teams.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, and I wonder, how do you do the feedback loop? Because you hire new people to your team. How do you do that feedback loop? How do you manage to do a feedback loop with seniors and juniors?
Okay. You want to take it? Or? Yeah. Okay.
During the time, because it's a bit difficult. Sometimes the juniors feel inferior and they don't give their opinion, and it's a bit difficult to manage this situation.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your question. Briefly, we try not to be the most fun people that we can. So I go out running with my team at weekends. I take they sometimes they go at my place and we have board game nights and stuff like that. So we try to have an informal workspace. So I have 2 trainees in my team now. So these are guys that are just exiting from the university, so really fresh ones, and they really commit to the team. So if you have the commitment, if you select those people that have the soft skills, that want to be proactive, they want to be, they have initiative, they are committed, then those fears, they don't exist. They don't even think about this. But you're right, getting feedback and saying this is wrong is something that we Portuguese, I think, as a culture, are not used to, because this is seen as criticism and not as the route or the path to improvement. And I see this, and I say this to my team. Ricardo says the same thing. We're looking always to improve ourselves. And if this culture is if everybody understands that it's not a criticism, it's not a way of you to lashing at someone that you did it wrong, it's not personal, you get those feedbacks really easy. Hope that yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know things to say. Another thing is even the senior guys have to show that they make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
That's important. Yeah, I did it.
We pay coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, it's not bad to fail. You
It's the road to learn.
don't have to have the politics of terror or failure.
Yeah.
That's one. And the second one, with new hires, I have lots of new hires and ramp up. I have to ramp up all of them. So when I'm doing more senior guys, I will ramp up and well,
help them.
I'll totally try to get in the spirit of the team. So yeah, I came across some guys that are more timid, and it's more difficult to initiate that cycle, but it's possible.
Yeah.
He insists, and he sees that the other guys are doing the same, but he starts to speak. You know, like.
Yeah, get some beers in, and they'll start talking. Don't worry.
That's another one.
Okay.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Ricardo. Please bring your questions to
Yeah, please come. Thank you. Thank you for your time, guys.